Have you ever had a fractional CFO client that you absolutely love working with, but it seems like every month their CFO calls inevitably go over the allotted time? That 1 hour call becomes a 90-minute call or even a 2-hour call, and then your entire day, your entire calendar is just blown to bits. If you've been struggling with this, you're not alone. In fact, I was recently having a conversation with one of my inner circle members who's been struggling with this for months. What advice did I give her so that she can avoid going over on these CFO calls again? Let's find out.
I just have a quick question, and I'm transitioning still in this, and I am struggling to define my scope of work because I have some customers, but I don't know, they seem to be asking for a lot of things, and I don't know how to manage that and not to damage the relationship,
Yeah.
I don't want to say no in a rude way, but how do you manage that?
Let me ask you a couple of questions to get to where we're at. So the best answer is you manage that through the sales process. Like you really got to set that scope and boundaries and expectations in the sales process. You reinforce it during the onboarding process, and then you've got to be disciplined about saying no during ongoing. Okay. Now, so my question is, are you talking about with like you're struggling to get the scope now, like before you bring clients on, or is it after you've got clients, you're fighting scope creep?
Yeah, already with customers. For example, I have 1 hour session and it can go up to 3. And I'm like, how do I get out of this, and not being rude?
Yeah. Best way to do that. And like, this is more art than science. So just know that like, this is something you got to like feel in the moment and do. The best way to do it when you find a client that's like constantly going over on calls is lay out the itinerary at the beginning of the call or even before the call. So today, what we're going to talk about, first, we're going to go through critical 4, then we're going to talk about cash flow forecast, then projections, and we're going to get into your goals, and we're going to lay out some things that we got to get done next month. Can we agree on that? And then you go through the call. And that's why I have our CFO report in those specific tabs, because it keeps the itinerary kind of on the screen and we know what we got to get through. And then as they start rabbit holing on whatever thing, say, hey, this is a great question. Let's table that for a Slack discussion or an email discussion. Or if we need to schedule another call, we could do that. But I want to make sure that we get through all the stuff that we got to talk about that was planned for the call today. And I think you can do that in a really nice way, but a firm way that lets them know. Another thing you can do that I think a lot of people just expect today is like, okay, hey, we're kicking off today. I just want to let you know, I do have a hard stop at the end of the hour. So I can make sure that I'm serving my other clients well. I do have to stop at the top of the hour or 60 minutes, 90 minutes, whatever that is, to really like set that boundary. But I always talk about like, there's 2 things you got to think about. You got to set the boundary. That's the easy part. Then you got to maintain the boundary. And that's where you got to have the discipline to keep that call structured and moving along.
Managing your time on CFO calls is important so that you can keep the rest of your day on track. If you'd like to learn more time management tips, then check out this video where I talk about the ACE method. The ACE method is the exact framework that I use to manage my time every single day. In the meantime, I can't wait to see you back here next week, my friend. I'll see you then.